We all know the pyramids, we've seen the Sphinx. But what if we've misunderstood everything? What if these monuments weren't just tombs, but technology? What if the gods of Egypt weren't myths, but instructions? And what if, beneath the sand, Egypt is still holding its greatest secret? Let's dive into the deep codes, cosmic alignments, and forbidden questions surrounding one of the most mysterious civilizations on Earth. The Great Pyramid of Giza, a structure so precise it still defies modern explanation. Its base is aligned with true north within a fraction of a degree. Its dimensions encode the golden ratio, pi, in the Earth's geography. No hieroglyphs, no mummy, no inscriptions claiming ownership. So, what was it for? Some say it was a tomb, but no body was ever found. Others believe it was a machine, a frequency chamber, an energy device, a monument of transformation. Inside, the king's chamber is lined with red granite, a material with piezoelectric properties, meaning it responds to vibration. Could this chamber have been a resonant box, a tuning structure, a tool to awaken consciousness? Even the layout mirrors the human body, with a heart, chamber, arteries, shafts, and a head, capstone. The capstone itself, now missing, was said to be made of benben stone, possibly meteoric or crystalline, a conduit between earth and sky. What if the Great Pyramid wasn't built to honor the dead, but to activate the living? The Sphinx, older than it looks, its body bears deep erosion, vertical patterns shaped by rain. But Egypt has seen little rain since 10,000 BCE. Was the Sphinx built long before the pharaohs? And was there once a second Sphinx, a twin, that stood across from it? Early maps and texts hint at it. Together, the Sphinxes may have framed a celestial alignment, part of a massive sky clock, tracking precession, cataclysms, and rebirth. Aligned with the constellation Leo, it faces east, toward the rising sun. Not just a statue, but a cosmic timepiece. And under its paws, ground scans have revealed anomalies, voids, tunnels, chambers. But no one's allowed to excavate. Why? What's beneath the Sphinx that we're not ready to uncover? In the Temple of Dendera lies one of Egypt's most puzzling carvings, the so-called Dendera light. It shows a bulb-like object, a filament, a wire, even a power source. Mainstream Egyptologists call it symbolic, mythical, but the resemblance to modern electrical tech is uncanny. Was it metaphor or memory? And what of the sacred blueprints found in the Temple of Edfu? They speak of a primordial mound, a group of divine architects, and an age before the Nile, when beings known as the builder gods constructed sacred temples using instructions from the heavens. Were they ancestors of the Egyptians, or survivors from an even older world? Atlanteans? Something more? What if the monuments of Egypt were not religious, but technological devices? Not machines with wires, but machines of resonance, of geometry, of consciousness. The ancient Egyptians believed in the power of words, of sound, of form. The opening of the mouth ritual wasn't just symbolic, it was believed to activate a statue, to give it voice, awareness, life. Were they mimicking an older practice? Or did they once truly know how to awaken stone? Could the pyramids have been part of a planetary grid, aligned to star systems, energetic ley lines, even interdimensional gateways? Some believe they were never meant to be entered, but to be felt, to be stood within, to be transformed by, not tombs, not temples, but technologies of the soul. Egypt's gods weren't just characters. They were archetypal forces, programs, functions. Thoth equals mathematics, memory, language, the operating system. Isis, healing, regeneration, divine frequency. Osiris, Pane integration, unity, the bridge between life and death. They weren't just worshipped, they were invoked. Not gods of thunder or war, but laws of the cosmos dressed in myth. Each temple was a repository, each rite a ritualized equation, each myth a map. Even their stories of death and resurrection of light and shadow were coded lessons, operating instructions for life and beyond. But the gods also served another purpose. They were gateways to altered states of mind, triggered by sound, light, incense, geometry. Not just symbol, but tools. Anubis wasn't just a god of death. He was the frequency of transition, the moment when fear meets surrender, the veil. Sekhmet, the lioness goddess, wasn't just wrath. She was the fire of purification, the evolutionary push. Ra didn't just ride the sun, he was the eternal observer, the eye that sees through lifetimes. Their temples were not places to worship, but places to remember who we are, who we were, and what we're connected to. When Egypt fell, those gods didn't vanish. They were absorbed, changed, masked. Hermes became Mercury, Isis became Mary, Osiris became Christ. Saturn, Venus, Horus, their roles lived on in different names, across different ages. Their temples may be silent, but their archetypes still animate our stories, our dreams, our rituals, and even our algorithms. So maybe Egypt wasn't the end of something. Maybe it was the beginning of a transmission, still being decoded. And the gods? Maybe they weren't just divine beings. Maybe they were gatekeepers, not of heaven, but of memory, of forgotten truths still sleeping within us. And perhaps, just perhaps, when we invoke them now, we're not calling on spirits from the past. We're activating codes in ourselves, ancient programs, waiting to run again. We think we've learned everything from ancient Egypt, but maybe we've only just begun to listen. Were the pyramids tombs or star maps? Was the Sphinx a monument or a memory? Did the gods descend from the heavens? Or did they rise from a forgotten world before ours? The deeper we dig, the more we must question our understanding of ancient Egypt and life itself. Maybe Egypt isn't ancient. Maybe it's timeless. Some questions, and most certainly hidden knowledge, was encrypted into these megalithic structures of ancient Egypt, not to be answered or repeated, but to last forever as we marvel in its tremendous stature and divine design. Join us in the next episode as we unravel the star codes, rituals, and lost knowledge of another forgotten force in history. And if this made you pause, wonder, or rethink what you know, hit subscribe. Because the past isn't just what was, it's what still waits to awaken.